Hey everyone, and welcome to tonight's reading. I hope you all had a beautiful weekend. I know I did. It was very relaxing and very needed. And I hope you all had some good rest. So today we are going to do a collective reading as usual. I will be using my Gilded Tarot Royale deck. As I shuffle the cards, you all can set your own intentions for this reading, either in the comments out loud or in your mind, however you feel good doing it. And I will try to get a couple of cards here before we start looking into the energies. As this deck is shuffling, I can tell that the energies are really kind of bouncing around all over the place. I am feeling pretty positive energy right now coming through, and the cards that are popping out are looking pretty positive too. So it looks like we are going to have a good reading. And I just heard Spirit say light at the end of the tunnel. So it looks like whoever's energy we are tapping into is now kind of like starting to look at the brighter possibilities rather than being stuck in a low vibrational headspace. Okay, I think we have enough cards here. Ooh, I really like what I'm seeing here. So the first card that flew out was the Nine of Cups. So this is manifestation coming to fruition, wish fulfillment. And I really do feel like this is in a divine masculine's headspace here that I am tapping into. I feel like this divine masculine either is is probably either headed toward a storm or is coming out of one, or both. Actually, I do feel like it's both. I feel like this divine masculine over time has gone through so many tower moments that's really shaken him to the core. And he's realizing a lot of his behaviors that have contributed to the experiences that he's had within his life. I heard procrastination. So I feel like this divine masculine whose energy I'm connecting with has really had a bad lifelong habit of overthinking things and just kind of, playing out certain scenarios in his mind much larger or much worse than they actually were in the 3D physical. Just a result of his overthinking, tendencies. So this divine masculine has a habit of fixating in the headspace and not really taking action. So this, through recent tower moments, I feel like was really brought to his attention. Like he's realizing that he needs to act on things. And he is in, I feel like, breaking the last phases of toxic binds. And so I'm really just being drawn to this Devil card here, even though it's not sequential, but this is really what I feel like the energy I'm tapping into is speaking on. That this divine masculine had a lot of habits that he needed to break free from that were not serving him well, that were toxic, that were kind of keeping him in boundaryless, I heard boundaryless connections. And as this divine masculine is growing and evolving, he's realizing what exactly needs to change. And now, instead of just thinking long term, as I'm tapping into this energy, I'm really feeling like this divine masculine had such a habit of thinking long term that he forgot to think short term. Like he knows what he wants in the end. For example, he knows he wants, the wife and kids, but he's not thinking short term of, okay, how do I get that wife? I actually have to ask her to be my wife before I can even get married, right? So he's not really good, or he hasn't been really good at strategizing his goals and differentiating between long-term and short-term. And I feel like the most recent tower moment that this divine masculine went through actually helped him with that. It actually brought about some growth and expansion, as evidenced here by the World card, you know, in how he takes action, how he thinks about things, how he goes about actually manifesting whatever it is that he's wanting to manifest. So this Tower moment brought about growth in him. I'm seeing, oh my gosh, you guys, the Page of Wands. So this Divine Masculine is definitely feeling very passionate right now. And that is a very synchronistic emotion with this Nine of Cups card here. That, you know, that fiery passion that he carries within himself is now what's going to help him manifest the reality that he's desiring. In my third eye, I'm just seeing this masculine, like, either sitting on a chair or sitting on a recliner of some sort and just planning out some short-term goals that, okay, you know, I've been in separation from my divine feminine for this long. I've spent this long overthinking things, and now my life is utterly miserable without her. I've realized this to, like, you know, every possible fiber in my body knows this. So now what am I going to do to manifest the life that I desire? So I'm really strongly getting that sense of communication. Like, he's thinking of some way, some short-term goal he can create for himself, not like, you know, bursting forth after years of no communication with an offer out front. Probably not that way. I feel like he is definitely going to want to see, you know, how his divine feminine is going to respond to him. But also at the same time, I feel like as this divine masculine has been tuning into his higher self and his guides, he's actually realizing just how much his feminine chooses him. And I feel a really strong sense of, like, amazement, feeling lucky, feeling gratitude here. The Star card also came up after that, and I just saw 717 on my recording timer, which tells me that luck is really falling into place. That's what I just heard Spirit say. So that's really synchronistic with that angel number. And plus with this Star card, it's like a beautiful, fresh, new beginning. I keep hearing refreshing. So Spirit is really highlighting and emphasizing here this feeling of refreshment. And next we have the Empress card. So his mind is very, very fertile right now. Like, I'm really being drawn to the fact that this Empress also represents fertility, pregnancy. This is his mind just being absolutely fertile, or quote unquote pregnant, with ideas as to, you know, what long-term and short-term goals he is working out for this connection. And short-term is really being highlighted here, which is so positive, because this is what is going to allow him to actually take these steps that he has been, you know, ruminating about and also kind of avoiding for so long. I heard rebalancing just as the Justice card came flying out here. So this divine masculine, after so long of feeling uprooted as an individual, is finally, you know, learning how to ground himself. He's learning how to regain his balance. This was a skill that he had lost for quite some time now. And so he's actually learning how to balance these scales. I just heard Spirit say learning how to say no. So I do feel like codependency and lack of boundaries was really a significant issue in this masculine's life. So it sounds like he's actually starting to learn how to say no and draw those lines for himself. Queen of Swords energy here. So I'm feeling like this storm that this divine masculine is now heading into, as I spoke on at the beginning of this reading, that there is a tower moment he's just coming out of, and there is a clearing storm that he is heading into. And by clearing storm, I mean a storm that is going to clear out what is no longer serving him in his life. So this storm is actually happening for him. And it's very synchronistic that behind this Queen of Swords is also a somewhat stormy looking sky. It really looks like a storm is on its way here. But I'm also noticing that these white doves or white pigeons, I think they're white pigeons, are surrounding this Queen of Swords, which is such a positive symbolism of what is to come once this energy clears. With this Queen of Swords and with this Justice card, what I am picking up is that there is a third party in this masculine's life that is like, for some reason, I'm getting that imagery that she's like sitting on the back of his neck and he's just struggling to get out. Like, this has been a connection that this masculine has literally been dying to end, you know, dying to walk away from for so long. But it's also an energy that he has just been feeling so tied up to because of these codependent patterns within him that just was not allowing him to draw the boundaries firmly enough to keep this third party out of his life. And that is typical when, you know, you have a connection that you have not completely released. It has a habit of just kind of, you know, coming in and out of your life over and over again, even though you don't necessarily want it. But you have to make that boundary clear that this connection has now been released and you do not want it anymore. This is what this storm is going to help this masculine do. It's going to help him end this third party connection. It's going to help him get rid of this suffocating, you know, like almost energy draining Queen of Swords third party energy. And this masculine is going to need some time to rebalance himself again after this, because this is going to be quite the journey. We got the Nine of Swords card here. So what I'm getting is that this masculine's higher self will finally become his guide after this tower moment. If you see here, there is this person laying on the bed with her arms crossed over her chest, and then there is this like ghostly, spiritly figure up here above her, which is supposed to be her higher self. Now, ironically, that figure, this ghostly figure, is actually blindfolded, which means that this divine masculine had been so intuitively out of touch with his higher self up until now that as you see these swords that are like coming towards this person down here, this is representative of this storm that this masculine is entering. So like all of the tips of these knives, these swords, are pointing right at him. And as he endures this storm, it's going to help him kind of cut those blindfolds off. I just heard Spirit say cut off the blindfold, so that's exactly what it's geared toward helping him do. It's going to open up his eyes to his higher self. And up until now, he'd really been relying on the divine feminine's energy as a crutch. Like she was, you know, the only thing that gave him support and hope, but it was also kind of keeping him grounded in these patterns. Like he had learned to become comfortable in his discomfort because the divine feminine's energy was always there lending him support. And now he is actually going to be a little bit intuitively blocked to her energy so that he can learn to build his own shelter and learn how to, you know, just kind of become his own person for the sake of this twin flame connection, for the sake of being able to step forth as somebody who can also protect and provide for the divine feminine and not just rely on her energy, but also to be able to be supportive to her as well. So this is definitely Another aspect of the balancing that we're going to see as this divine masculine exits this storm that is coming toward him. How synchronistic, you guys. So we spoke about that Queen of Swords third party that's kind of sitting on the back of this divine masculine's neck. Here we have the Ten of Wands card, which is symbolic of so much burdens. Like, I keep hearing unbearable. So it really feels like this divine masculine's association with this third party is becoming absolutely unbearable for him. Like, this is a connection he just can't take anymore. Like, you know, I just keep seeing him wanting to run away, but I'm also seeing like a cat and mouse game. It feels like this divine masculine is the mouse and that third party is the cat, that she's just pursuing him, you know, like there's no tomorrow. She's just really, really after him. And this divine masculine is, like, I keep hearing soft-hearted. So I guess he has a really hard time with those boundaries because he doesn't want to hurt anybody's feelings. So that makes absolute sense with the codependency that we spoke on earlier. So it's, you know, this connection with third party has become an absolute burden for this masculine. And I just heard a divine masculine step in to say, I feel like I can't live my life. So this is really what it's gotten him down to, that, you know, up until this third party leaves, or until he clears this connection from his life, this third party connection, he just feels like he can't live his life. Like, she's just this giant weight on the back of his neck and he's pinned to the floor and he's struggling and he just can't get up. So here we have the Queen of Wands, and I just heard a divine masculine step in to say, you lit the fire beneath me. So desire for this divine feminine and feeling restless for lack of her presence in his life, for lack of her physical company, is just really becoming so difficult to bear for this divine masculine. It's something that he really feels like he can't handle anymore, that, you know, it used to be his safe space to fantasize about this divine feminine, to, you know, create his own little world within his mind space where he and his feminine were together. And I do get that there has definitely been a lot of fantasizing about physical intimacy, but I'm feeling like this fantasizing really got to the divine masculine pretty recently, like in the very recent past, to where he became so restless that now he's avoiding thinking of his divine feminine that way because she wasn't physically present and it became too much. Like, he needed her to de-escalate those emotions, and he was alone and she's all he wants. So now he's kind of afraid to even allow his mind to go in that direction because it just makes him so restless, and that restlessness makes him feel even more helpless as a result. This is what I'm getting here. We have the Six of Pentacles. So this divine masculine is really wanting to come in with generosity that he didn't have before. I heard give you what you deserve. So this divine masculine is really trying to figure out, and I keep seeing that same picture in my third eye about him, like sitting on this recliner type chair and just kind of hashing out a plan within his mind about what move he can make forward. You know, that will show the divine feminine that he's really coming with generous intentions and wanting to give her all of his love that he had withheld from her or restrained himself from giving her in the past. So now he's coming with, I just heard open heart. So he's really opening his heart now, which had been so closed off in order to avoid pain. And I do feel like this has a lot to do with his past conditioning and experiences. So this tower moment that he just came out of is helping him to realize that he needs to open his heart again and that he needs to take some forward action. And the storm that he's getting into is going to help, I just heard Spirit say, release the ties that bind him. Very synchronistic with this Eight of Swords card here. So this all tied up feeling is exactly what is on its way out the door now. Very beautiful energy, you guys. What other messages can I channel, Spirit? Is there anything else I can channel from this deck? I am seeing butterflies in my third eye, so there is major transformation going on here. We have the Ten of Cups. Yes, this is what the transformation is leading into. Very, very beautiful energy. This divine feminine and this divine masculine both, as I'm tapping deep into their energies, ultimately to their core, see each other as their happily ever afters. There is absolutely no doubt in that, and this is what they both are manifesting. I'm really being drawn to these cups up here and the rainbow just so close right above it. And I keep hearing Spirit say cups being filled. So these counterparts are finally having their cups filled. All 10 cups are finally being filled with everything that they have been manifesting. And I'm seeing honeybees here. How synchronistic. I was saying I see butterflies in my third eye. There are butterflies on the card too. But I'm seeing honeybees right here. So this is going to be like everything that they've been working so hard for, their ascension, their, just inner work, inner growth, inner healing that they've been doing, their focus on, making a more stable 3D physical life financially, and being able to create a stable life with one another is finally paying off. Like, these two have really been like, worker bees within their connection. They have really been working hard in every aspect. Movement has definitely been slow, but it has definitely also been steady. So this has been a long haul, but I keep hearing you're almost home. So there is something, some form of communication coming in pretty quick here, you guys. Energy at the bottom of the deck is the Ace of Swords. So communication, again, being reaffirmed here that it's definitely coming in here soon. Wow, that is way too many cards. But I was drawn to the Lover's card. So the fact that this came out is extremely synchronistic. That this tower moment, or the storm, I should say, that this divine masculine is being led into is definitely helping him make that choice that's going to lead him to, his divinely destined connection, his divinely destined soul purpose here. That it's not just going to be union in the 5D anymore, that this is definitely union that is getting ready to show up in the physical 3D. Excuse me. We have the Four of Pentacles here. Such beautiful energy, you guys, that not only have I worked hard to make my own life stable, but I've also worked hard to be able to offer you something. And now I have something on my tray, on my plate, that I can bring to you soon. That is the energy that I'm getting here. So of course, like I said, the first attempt at communication is most likely not going to be an offer right away. It's just going to be kind of testing the waters, seeing how, each party responds to one another, and then an offer is following very shortly after. Confirming this is energy at the bottom of the deck, the Fool card, you guys. The leap of faith is about to be taken, is what I just heard Spirit say. A leap of faith is absolutely about to be taken here. We have the King of Pentacles. When this offer comes in, you guys, it's going to be extremely stable. This is a connection that both counterparts know that they want to keep. They're in it for the long haul. They're in it for marriage. They're in it for children. They're in it for, family stability, a lifetime. I just heard Spirit say love of a lifetime. So this is definitely that type of a connection, and it is absolutely a true twin flame connection here. So this divine masculine currently very often goes through feelings of heartbreak, and this is very heavily mirrored in the divine feminine. I do sense that this divine masculine also cries often, and the divine feminine suddenly can start feeling heavy, anxious, maybe even nauseated sometimes, because I feel like this masculine has been holding things in for so long that now it's actually manifesting as physical unwellness. I do get this sense that he's not in very good health emotionally or physically at this time. You know, emotions are becoming very overwhelming for him, and he's in need of rest and rejuvenation because he has had so many sleepless nights over this connection. He has, you know, just, I heard fearing that he's going to lose his mind because he didn't know what to do. He didn't know how to step forward. Oh my gosh, you guys, look at that. Union is on the horizon. It's actually this storm that this masculine is heading into very, very soon is exactly what's going to lead him toward union. It has been a long haul, you guys. Look at this, 8 of Wands. The ducks are finally lining up in a row here. So this is very synchronistic with Spirit's message earlier with Spirit saying you're almost home. These counterparts are definitely almost home. Right now, this masculine kind of feels like, you know, he is looking back on the battlefield of his life ever since the divine feminine left in the 3D physical. Ever since the disconnect happened, he's really been feeling like, I just keep hearing stuck and suffering, stuck and suffering. So that has been the life story of this masculine for quite some time. And now he's looking back and thinking, how on earth did I even make it through all of that, you know? But he's also feeling a sense of joy within himself that those times are now over. And look at that. The Tower card. Yes, this is exactly what he's heading into. But like I was saying, he's definitely feeling that joy within himself, that those times are now over, and he's headed toward a new beginning. He knows this very, very well. This is the major end of a cycle, and this cycle that is ending is long overdue to end. Like, this has been a karmic lesson that the universe has been trying to teach this masculine for such a long time, that it really took significant tower moments and uprooting to really make that happen. I'm going to get the cards that fell. Hang on one sec. All right. So this is absolutely the major end of a cycle. We have the 9 of Pentacles card here, 1 pentacle away from the 10 of Pentacles, right? Which is almost equivalent to the 10 of Cups energy, except including financial stability. So this is exactly where the masculine will be left after this tower moment. After this cycle ends, he is going to be in this 9 of Pentacles energy. While this divine masculine is going through these tower moments, there's going to be a lot that is shrouded in mystery in this connection. There's going to be a few things that are revealed, and there's going to be a few things that won't be revealed. And this is absolutely showing up in the card as well with this moon here. There's so much in the darkness, right? But only a sliver of it is visible. This is a very necessary message for the divine feminine that she cannot necessarily see, know, or be privy to intuitively every aspect of her divine masculine's journey as he goes through this. And this is to protect her from spiritual trauma, because sometimes when those tower moments happen, People are shaken to the core, and just energetically processing that with your counterpart can traumatize you as well, even though you aren't personally going through that. So the universe will be shielding you. You might not be as in tune with your partner's or your counterpart's energy at that time, but that is only temporary, and it is only for your protection. You will again restore that ability to intuitively tune into and tap into your counterpart's energy once they have restabilized. So we have the Three of Pentacles card here. I heard the Divine Masculine say, I want to show you, you can be proud of me now. So this Divine Masculine is really wanting to show this hard inner work that he's been doing to his Divine Feminine, to show that he is somebody that she can be proud of. So right now what we have is the Knight of Pentacles. Now this is, if you've been following me, you know this, extremely slow moving energy, like slower than a tortoise, slower than a slug, whatever you can think of that is the slowest moving. This card in the tarot, no matter what deck you're using, represents that kind of energy. So this Divine Masculine, as we even spoke on before, right, how synchronistic, he gets so stuck in overthinking, and lo and behold, we have the Hanged Man card. You know, someone who just kind of sits back, observes, and thinks about things. That's why he's chained up there like that. That is the energy that this Divine Masculine has been in, and this is exactly what is about to change. So he is about to transform from this slow, tortoise pace moving Divine Masculine stuck in his head overthinking into this passionate Knight of Wands who is actually showing some forward motion. Now this one, there is forward motion. It's not as fast as the Knight of Swords because that one is the fastest moving card, but this one you can absolutely see movement here. And this volcano in the back is also very synchronistic, because that's what this final storm is going to erupt within this Divine Masculine. It's going to be this volcano of, I need to end this annoying Queen of Swords connection. It's long overdue. I can't bear it anymore. It's physically, literally making me sick to my stomach and making me want to vomit. So I am going to get rid of that, and I'm going to move forward toward my Divine Feminine, my counterpart, who I want to be with, and have this new beginning in love with her. And I just heard refreshing again, and I think that's the second time this has come up in this reading. So this is going to be a very refreshing reconciliation, a very refreshing reconnection between these two counterparts, because actual growth can really be seen here. And this is very favorable to union, you guys. We have the Seven of Cups card, excuse me, at the bottom of the deck, which is, you know, manifestations again. So we had manifestation with the Nine of Cups, we had it with the Ten of Cups. This is the second confirmation, third appearance of manifestation within this reading. So we have some very positive forward moving energy here, and none of these cards fell out like sideways or diagonal. Like they were pretty straight, which shows that, you know, over the weeks we were saying stuck energy becoming unstuck, and now it's really unstuck. Like everything that had been stuck is literally being propelled into motion. It is no longer being stuck in any way. So that is very, very positive, very, very powerful. And it just goes to show that all of this waiting is going to pay off, you guys. Like these divine counterparts, I really feel like some days they're wondering, gosh, if I think too much about it, will my union even happen? Like, you know, they were afraid of thinking too much about it. And it's normal to have those emotions throughout, because you're feeling things intuitively, but you're not seeing proof in the 3D physical. It's all emotion based for so long. that it's normal to question whether it's ever going to show up in your reality, or are you just losing your mind? You know, it really can feel like that. But wish fulfillment does happen, and wish fulfillment is here. We have the Seven of Swords, you guys. This is beautiful energy. So I just heard Spirit say, don't betray yourself by thinking negative. This card also does symbolize betrayal, and in this case, it would be self-betrayal if these counterparts, you know, got into a negative thinking space in their head again after everything the universe has done to uproot that within them. So it's really just showing that keeping your balance, the Temperance card at the bottom of the deck, is going to help you propel even faster forward toward your wish fulfillment, towards your union. So that was some really beautiful energy, you guys. I really like the way that, you know, these cards were falling and the energy that I was feeling moving through me. That I'm feeling so much relief, and this relief, yes, it is present right now in the physical, but it's also going to be present in the future after this divine masculine gets through this storm that he is being prepared for right now. I am going to close this reading out by channeling some love messages from the masculine to the feminine, and then vice versa. Today I'm really wanting to read my deck, use my deck for divine message counterparts. I really, really enjoy these messages. They are so true, you guys. They really do show up a lot in true twin flame connections. Wow. See only love. So I do feel like the divine feminine often gets triggered thinking about the third party. And I'm really just downloading right now that as this masculine is starting to feel more and more like that Queen of Swords third party energy is sitting on the back of his neck and he's struggling, I feel like that third party's name, I do feel like this third party is known to the feminine. I don't feel like there's any ongoing connection between them, but I definitely feel like this feminine knows who this third party is. I feel like that third party's name keeps popping up in the divine feminine's head. I feel like it's like a continuous, I just heard Spirit say bothersome like a fly. So, you know, like as she's trying to do her affirmations, as she's meditating, or maybe even as she's praying, asking the universe to fill her cups, that this annoying third party's name keeps coming in where, you know, she's afraid of, like, you know, saying it at the wrong time and potentially asking for the wrong thing. Like, that's a fear that she has. But this is something that she's telepathically picking up from the divine masculine's energy. Because just like he's feeling suffocated and pinned down under her weight, you know, the third parties, this divine feminine is kind of picking up on that, and her name is kind of playing the role that the divine feminine's, or that the third party feminine's energy is playing within this divine masculine's life right now, if that makes sense. So that was a download I just got. I'm scared to take action, so there is planning going on, but there's still some residual fear, and that fear is about to be cleared out, you guys, with that storm. You are the reason for my happiness right now. Yes. So this divine masculine, just as we spoke on earlier, relies a lot on the divine feminine's energy to, you know, give him balance. I think I said use it like a crutch, or, you know, the divine feminine's energy kind of serves as a crutch for this divine masculine right now. So what he's learning how to do is rely also more on himself and not just her energy in order to regain his inner balance and power. You push me away physically, but I'm the one who has your heart. So the divine masculine on a higher self level already knows this, that, you know, he has the divine feminine's heart. He knows on a higher self level that he doesn't have to worry about or fear returning to this connection, because I just heard waiting for you with open arms. So his higher self is very much aware of that. And even if the feminine may try to act a little cold, the divine masculine does know that she is receptive to him. So just have compassion for each other, you guys. Have compassion, have empathy for your person and even for yourself, because you guys both have been through so many hard times. And you'll know if this is you. Mind that this is a collective reading, so always tune back to your intuition to know which messages are for you and which ones are for others. So this has been a long haul back home to one another, and you guys don't need any more difficult times outside of what you've already experienced. So just receive each other with open arms and open hearts and see how things play out. Use your discernment. Don't accept breadcrumbs. Pay attention to red flags if you see any, but there's also no need for unnecessary coldness towards your counterpart. The dissolving light, the number 3 card. If you're noticing that every time you kind of go into an anxious or negative thinking phase, and this yellow is really highlighting the solar plexus chakra for me, you might start to see angel number 333. Angel number 333 appears to bring you back onto the right path if you are veering away from your soul path and purpose. The dissolving light. I died as mineral and became a plant. I died as plant and rose to animal. I died as animal and I became human. Why should I fear anything? When was I ever less by dying? Rumi. Dare to take my hand and become set alight with holy fire, my cherished one. Step forward with me, let us burn together, dissembled in the light that cannot be extinguished. This is the light that burns with such incandescent truth that no falsehood can withstand its audacious vibrancy. Come with me now to the light. Together we shall melt into truth. This is so beautiful, you guys. The divine feminine's higher self calling out to the masculine, the death, speaking to ego death. You know, that you are not becoming less through your ego death experience, even though it really does feel like you're dying sometimes, because those tower moments are not easy. They really shake you to the core. But that's necessary in order for this process to be fruitful. So I hope that helped you guys. I really, really hope that you enjoyed tonight's reading. If you're resonating with these messages and those, feelings of being out of balance and uprooted as an individual are resonating with you, I do highly recommend my twin flame manifestation affirmations. These have really helped so many people on their journey. I've been using it for almost 10 years, like over 8 years is how long they've been in use, so almost a decade. I've used them with my live coaching clients. There have been many who've stopped by my Instagram and purchased their copies. You can visit my Instagram profile, check out the highlight called affirmations, and you can see reviews from my clients there and how it's helped them not just align with the vibration, but actually manifest what they were hoping to manifest. There's over 100 affirmations in there. They're pretty all-encompassing. They hit on all areas of life: self-concept, abundance, love, your twin flame connection, emotional stability, you name it. It's pretty much all in there. The PDF is like a little booklet. It has mentoring tips in there, coaching tricks that I gave my coaching clients on how to use the affirmations for maximum effectiveness. And it's something that you're going to have forever. So it's really, really worth it. You can see in my highlights, like I said, all the reviews that I've been getting from my beautiful clients. I will leave my Instagram handle in the video description box. So I highly recommend that you stop by and take a look. Join me on Instagram if you would like to experience any personal readings or card pulls from me. I run pretty much daily reading specials there on different themes and topics. I do love message card pulls, etc. So all you have to do is look at the instructions, which are usually within my stories and within the latest post for the day on how to book those readings. And also, if you want the affirmations, all you have to do is direct message me a screenshot of your proof of payment and the email that you want the PDF sent to, and I will get it out to you within the day. So I do hope to see you guys there. I hope this reading helped. Take care, you guys. I'll talk to you in the next reading video.